Hello everyone and welcome back to LSI F1 Championship. We're here today for the beginning of a new season, Season 9. The opener at the Netherlands. Yes, we are matching the current F1 season calendar. More or less, of course, there'll be races that fill in between, but we're at the Netherlands for the first round. A very, very technical track. I think it's going to be an interesting one to start things off. It can be very, very easy to bottle it, even for the top players. So the championship is going to be started right here, and I'm sure we're going to see some great racing, but it's definitely going to set the scene for what the rest of the season is going to look like. We don't have a couple people driving, unfortunately. There's quite a few people that have missed this race, but they'll be here for the next one. But we've got a decent grid, and we've got Eager Pro starting a lap now as he heads down to turn 1. Zingy currently topping the times of a 10.6, followed 2 tenths behind is Nifo. And Eager Pro's only got 1 lap here, as they do have a tyre penalty, along with Ruleton. They do have a tyre penalty as well. So they've got 1 lap that they can set a valid lap with, and that is it. Then they will have to all it there. So they've got some pressure on. Eagle's got to get this lap in. Goes purple in the first sector. Into the next one. It's pretty tidy so far. Not going too far off the left-hand side. On the right curb there, a little bit of a cut. Maybe not quite as much as you'd want to do, but it's tidy. Like I said, it's tidy. DRS open. Heads down to sector 3. And that's a 49.989. Around the final few corners now. Just 2 more to go. The banked corner, the notorious bank corner. Lovely, lovely corner. Very, very easy to get wrong though, especially in dirty air during the race. No dirty air for now. Across the line they go with the DRS. What is that lap time gonna be? It is an 11.7. That puts them in 9th place. Second last out of the current lap time runners. They've only got 1 more shot on that tyre if they want it. Other than that, they're going to be stuck there. So they've got a bit of pressure on right now. We've got some more drivers coming out. We've got Zingy, of course, the champion, on his way out. We've got Nifo, though. Nifo on a lap. Haven't heard of Nifo before. I have. I know Nifo very well, and he's pretty quick, as you can see. He's right up there right now, going across the line, and it's going to be provisional pole. A 10.6, 9 minutes to go of this session, and he could... Or he is... Oh, a big, big issue there at the start, at the front of the pit lane. What was that? The 2 Williams seem to be having a bit of a shindig along with the Alpine, maybe? I don't know if the Alpine was in a bit of an issue there or not, but that is Nifo setting the lap, so it's already done. But that was a weird one, and he reacts nicely. But yeah, provisional pole. This could be a decent way to start the season, especially for Home Grand Prix. They are reserve driver, along with JJ, who is actually an EU driver. Everybody else is a permanent driver. And Phil, of course, is Philemon. Slight name change. Everybody else is either new or they're on the same name. They're using the same name. Got a few issues. Sorry for the issues. Just got to check a couple of things. My bad. Zingy is on the lap. We'll watch on board. Alright. Well, I'm trying to communicate, but my phone's just broken, so I'm gonna have to go back to that in a minute. Right now, we'll just have another look. Apparently, there's a slight hint of desync. I don't quite know. Zingy, slightly laggy, but it seems to have fixed now. Across the line he goes, and it's not enough to actually improve at all. Are they going for another lap here, or are they going to back off? I think they've backed off here, and they're going to have to go again at another time. We've got Svenijam in P3 right now, in the Alpine, running solo right now as well. Can he get some good points today? Looks promising. Very, very far to the outside there of the curb, using all the track. As he wrestles it, loses it a little bit, somehow keeps it in a straight line. That was looking nice and tidy. I don't know what lap it would have been, but that was so close. Pushed it a little bit too far. Now he knows that limit's there. You can either use it to your advantage and not do it again, or it might hinder you a little bit, might knock your confidence down a little bit. You've got to make sure that that doesn't happen in qualifying though. You've got to give it everything. You set a banker lap, so he's still up there. I know you can improve. Just needs to push. And that's what he's doing. just a slight mistake. We've got Davin coming into the pits. Philemon on their way out. Their teammate is on a cool down. Oh no, their teammate's on a lap right now, I should say, as they come around the final corner. Then we will go on board with Philemon. Matthew Wiley, 11.1. What's it going to be? And it is an improvement, a 10.9, up by 0.2, up to P3 they go. And their teammate is going to head down into turn 1. Let's see what they can do. I think he was trying to get a toe off his teammate there. It's quite possible that it did happen. That's Cohen retiring from the session. And that is them out. That is an interesting situation. But it is what it is. That's them done. Sorry for the moment of silence. Trying to sort a couple of things out. We should be good to go. Very, very shortly. Philemon setting a great lap right now. Alrighty, we should be good to go. Alright, doesn't look like desync. I think it's more of lag. So that's just connection issues. Philemon comes across the line, and now we're back into the commentary. We're back into it. We're going to try and stay away from the lobby issues. Philemon into P4 now, right behind his teammate, actually. Pretty close, about half a hundredth of a second, or no, 500ths of a second there. So very, very close indeed. Half a tenth, I should say. So now did find himself in P3, but now he's dropped all the way down into P5, so he's got to find some time here. We've not got too much time left to go. Nifo goes across the line at 10.5. This is a short lap, however, so Nifo, for example, out right now, might be able to go in and come back out. They might have enough time, not quite sure. Crossplay is on Gajak, but unfortunately we're not allowing other platforms to race yet until we know the game has been fixed. So I can't allow any other platforms to compete for the time being, so I do apologise for that. Alrighty. Nifo set that lap time. We've got Sen on a lap into the second sector they are now. Let's see what they can do. Can they redeem themselves from the last lap we saw? Sliding through the exit, not going as wide as they did. Down on the throttle, slightly touching the outside curve. Once again, this time manages to master it into the third sector. They go purple, and they do improve by a very, very small margin. They've got time on the card, but they still need to find a bit more if they want to really improve up the order significantly. I say that. They would actually be able to do enough here to get P3. It just is P2 or P1 on the cards here. Round the final corner they go, and it is a P3. A 10.8. The only driver of the 10.8 right now. An improvement of 1/10 and a bit. So the top two currently in a bit of a league of their own. Zingy waiting for the perfect time to exit that pit lane and have another go. Matthew Wiley on his way out as well. Philemon will probably follow suit. Davin just into the pits right now, so that's going to be it for them. They're going to be starting P6 or lower. We've got Cisco, Quibus, all out. Lots of people out on circuit right now. Sebi isn't going to be setting another lap time. PJ, Igapro, Rulaton is coming out for the final few laps. Of course, they have that tyre penalty. They're planning it out. Dark Soul hasn't set a lap time yet. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty slim chance for them to get anything in. I don't know if there's an issue, if they're just wanting to start at the back of the grid. But on board with Krubus right now, 11.2. We'll watch on board into Sector 2, see if it's an improvement and how much by, and then we will see if we'll carry on with the lap up by a 10th right here. So this would be enough to get ahead of Cisco, but no further. They need 2/10 to get to Davin, and then another half a tenth, I'd say, to get anywhere near the other guys. That would be for P4, actually. The two Ferraris very, very close together. Davin actually got out in time So I don't know. Maybe that's just a miscalculation from me. They got in very, very quickly and left very, very quickly as well. Rebus round the final few corners now into the final sector. They've got a Ferrari up ahead, but it's not enough to cause a big issue. Maybe a distant tow, but I think it's a little bit too far away to cause anything. DRS available across the line. What's it going to be? And it is an improvement by a tenth. It puts them into P7. Not enough to get ahead. That might be it, unless they can really set another lap time. A bit of traffic here as we see. Everybody try and gather a lap. Here we go, though, with the reigning world champion. Up through the bank section. Trying his best here. Looking for a possible pole position. We've got some yellow sectors as everybody tries to find space on the circuit. That's an AlphaTauri slowing down Zingy. Not improving. He's pretty much dead on his time. He needs a lot of time to get to Ruleton, who was set a 10.2 on one lap. A 10.2 on Ruleton there. I was going to say Nifo, but Ruleton's gone and done it. Well done indeed. Will Zingy be able to improve? There's a long way to go. We'll watch on board until the next corner, see if he's anywhere near it. He's not. Nifo, are they going to have a chance? They're up by a tenth right now. They need 3 tenths to have a go at pole position. A bit of an understeer through the corner there. That's not going to help them at all. This could be a little bit of a troublesome moment here. Ruleton's definitely put some time into the game, that's for sure. As Nifo tries to get the car rotated. So tricky around this circuit. The traction is immense. Into the third sector we go, and it's down by a tenth. It's down. It's not going to be enough. Ruleton's looking for pole here. We got Matthew Wiley. He's says dead on his time. We'll carry on watching on board that Philemon in the pit lane, and they're retired from the session. They're not going to be improving. Davin's on a lap. Priebus, Cisco, they've all set lap times it seems, so that's going to be it for them. Everybody behind has also finished. Matt Wiley is the only one who can set a lap time here and try and improve. I don't know about Cisco, if they're going for another run or not. They don't. They go into the pit lane. That's going to be it. Matthew Wiley will come around the final few corners and be the final runner. Taps the grass there a little bit. Across the line he goes. And it's Ruleton on pole position. On pole position. Well done. He's just gone into the pit lane. We're not going to be able to see it. Davin up to P2, I didn't realise. Davin into P2, the Red Bull, on the front row. How about that? Nifo and Zingy look so comfortable up there, ahead of the rest. And now it's all of a sudden been snatched away. Zingy did manage to get very close to Nifo in the end, but it wasn't enough to push himself up. What a qualifying. What a qualifying. How about that? This is going to be very, very, very toasty indeed. Ruleton in P1 by 2 tenths. David in P2, Nifo P3. And this is the rest of the grid. We're going to quickly skim through the race director just to make sure everything's sorted. And then we will be back for the race. We'll see you in a minute. Hello and welcome back to LSI F1 Championship. We're in for a good race here. The Netherlands circuit, Zandvoort, Ruleton on pole position. Sounds good to me. Let's see how this one goes. Followed by Davin and Nifojan in P3, starting his home race on the second row of the grid. Debut for LSI. We've got Zingy in P4, the champion, down the order. He's very, very good in a race. Let's see how this goes. Svenijam on his debut as well. Let's see what their race pace is like in P5. They said they didn't get a final lap time in. We'll have to see. Matthew Wiley in P6, staying in Ferrari. Philemon moves to Ferrari in P7. His old team currently on pole position right now. And then Quibus in P8 on debut as well. Cisco Sebi in P9 and 10. JJ in P11. Dark Salt PJ Igapro in P13 and 14. And LSI Kern is an AI, so they will not be classified. Just keep that in mind. Alrighty, look at that strategy. That's the recommended. A medium to hard or a soft hard. Was that right? I think it really depends on a safety car. Safety car it's a pretty tight circuit, this, so that's why I'm saying it's going to be quite likely, especially if you see from turns 4 to 6, just before the fast right-hander, just after the first banking section. It gets very, very twisty, but it is kind of a straight. It's difficult. It seems like it's not, but it just is somehow. But yeah, we'll have to see. Alrighty. Let's get ready to race. It's going to be a good one to open up the season. Hold your breath, clench your butt cheeks, because we're about to go racing. Ready, hold, go! Who's gonna get it into turn 1? Bit of a delay, and finally we're off. Ruleton now gets a lovely, lovely launch. Davin can't find a way through. Side by side with the two second row runners. The two Ferraris split up as that's a Haas on the inside challenging. Ruleton breaking away though. No contest from them. Sven in P5. Nifo loses a position to Zingy. Zingy makes that move while he needs to, while it matters on the start. Nobody going to be going side by side. So far it looks like everybody's fizzled out. There is a bit of a side-by-side moment here with the PJ and Eager Pro, the two old rivals, right at the back at the moment. Matthew, unfortunately, having the issue. Didn't quite see what happened there. No damage, it seems, so they should be able to carry on. But that's a lovely, lovely start from Ruleton. Perfectly done. Didn't need to worry. They've got a bit of a gap between themselves and Davin. Davin is there, but it's so difficult to actually get a move done here at Zandvoort. The ERS is going to be crucial. Let's see how these guys are prepared, if they're going to be able to manage it well enough or not. Zingy, 9 tenths behind. Remember, he did have to make an overtake off the line, so there is that, but still, he needs to get into that DRS train. Otherwise, he's going to be in a bit of trouble. We got Nifo, who could be under pressure from Sven. Is Sven going to try and go for an early move? Nifo goes slightly defensive, but it's not enough. He opens the door, and he's going to try his luck to go through. More skill, I should say. Not able to get through right now. Nifo holds on. And they know the bigger game here. They can't afford to make big mistakes and lose a lot of time. Although Nifo, you can see, is on the hard tyre, whereas Sven's on that medium tyre. Wanted to have a go on the inside on the exit, but wasn't actually able to get that traction down by taking that tighter line. Philemon always want to take a very, very different strategy on the mediums. It's pretty standard today. Especially in this new game, it's difficult to actually do a Philemon style strategy where you do some serious stuff on the mediums, and that is Nifo making a mistake. Sven's not going to want to be behind that. He's going to be very, very eager to get through. Of course, Nifo on that hard tyre, so less grip, and it's not strange to see that on the hards, but he can't be doing that. His competitors will get restless. Zingy a 1.1 second gap now. Davin is the only one who's in DRS range of Ruleton, and that is going to help them relax a lot. Zingy has to push with everything he's got here if he wants that DRS. Davin setting the fastest lap. Zingy could be in a bit of trouble here, kind of been caught napping on the pace. Nifo in P4, and then we've got Sven in P5. Nifo holding on for now. Matthew Wiley goes and sets a lovely fastest lap. They haven't pitted yet, so they've got that clean air, and it's a big, big benefit. No one going to be able to make a move. We've got a big train back here with Cisco and then PJ, followed by Dark Salt, followed closely by Egapro. We've got JJ right there as well in the trails. So this is going to be a nice one to see, I'm sure. Dark Salt in a bit of a sandwich at the moment. They can't make a mistake. They will lose it to Egapro, but they want to get through. And to make a move, you have to take some risks. The DRS train, though, is going to be absolutely mad, and PJ will have a massive advantage here. First time we're going to get the DRS on the back straight, though, is right now with Ruleton and Davin. Another yellow sector, unfortunately, for Matty Wiley, having a bit of an issue on the rear, possibly on the curb, I should say, at that kind of corner. Davin manages to maintain the gap, but not really close it. Zingy did manage to get within the 1 second range. This could be very, very crucial. Maybe these guys were pushing a little bit too early on. We don't quite know. Maybe they're pushing early on and waiting. I just realised they are on the medium tyres, whereas Zingy is on the hard. He followed the Dutchman that was alongside, and Nifo could have a pretty good strategy here as long as he can hold off Sven. Sven has got pace in that car, though, you can tell it. He's just not able to extract it while he's sat behind here. It's not possible. He really needs to make a move sooner rather than later. He knows Philemon is in the DRS range. He's not far behind. But Philemon has slightly lost the gap and actually just lost DRS. That's going to motivate Quibus massively here as they're in P7. So that is lovely stuff. So there is Zingy. Did he get that DRS? I don't know. I think he's just missed it. We're going to watch the rear wing as we go around the banking section. And then we'll go and quickly see the other guys. He does get DRS, but he's not using it. Defensive goes Nifo onto the inside. First overtaken a while. Round the outside goes the Alpine. Gonna want to make it stick. Gonna go aggressive on it. Keep minimum space. And he's done it. Lovely stuff. Textbook move. It's what he had to do right now. It's what he had to do. Now, Nifo's got to keep relaxed. Keep calm. He's got a bit of a gap between the cars behind. If he can hold on to DRS here, that will help him massively later on in the race. It'll be such a benefit, a extreme benefit, like we saw back in Austria. When you have the DRS on old tyres or just a different strategy, it's a big, big benefit. And Davin's off. Davin's off into the gravel he goes. Oh, no, no, no. That's not what we want to see. He doesn't have damage. He's just got a bit of a dodgy tyre, that's all. Going to lose the position to Sebi. Have to try and get it back together. But that is now the DRS train lost. Ah, what a shame. What a shame. Davin looking for a good battle here to start the season. Right now he's going to have to go down to P8. Still can be a good battle, but it's not what he wants. It's not going to be for the win. And a rest for Ruleton now. He's got a 9/10 gap between himself and the car behind. A 1 second gap, I should make that, as he is now leading by a massive, massive margin. Sven has immediately, after passing Nifo, caught up to Zingy. Of course, as we said, Zingy is on that hard tyre, so is Nifo, and Sven is on the medium along with Ruleton. It's going to change later on, but I don't quite know how. I think the hard tyre runners are hoping for a safety car slightly later on that will help them bunch back up to the grid and be on that faster tyre. Not too late though, because they wouldn't want everybody to be on the soft tyre. That would be absolutely hectic, especially around the circuit with such high tyre wear. Zingy's going to be under threat. He's pushing for the move. Going to go to the outside line. Is Zingy going to fight it? It's not worth it. He doesn't fight it. He's going to sit in the DRS train. And by doing that, actually, it's allowed, as you can see, Nifo to catch up because he has to brake slightly earlier to make sure he doesn't battle with Sven and lose some extra time. That does mean Nifo, now on that hard tyre, is back in the train, back in business. And these guys can all chase down Ruleton. Let's see if Sven can use these medium tyres effectively. PJ with a 3-second time penalty, the first time penalty of the race. We're on lap 7 out of 36. We've been pretty good so far. It is the Netherlands though. It's not too easy to get time penalties, but over time you can accumulate a couple warnings here and there. Right, 2.5 seconds is the gap. Let's see how that changes With Sven now leading the train, is it going to be possible for Zingy and Nifo to hold on and carry along? Zingy didn't seem that slow on that hard tyre. He did not seem that slow at all. So I have no doubt that he can catch up. Well, eventually with the switchover, of course, it's getting ever so closer. We're going to be probably having to pit around lap, what was it, 14, 15, maybe 16 if we're lucky. Around a circuit like this, I don't quite know. It's going to be quite a long time on the hards, I'd assume. Nifo is holding on nicely. Quibus has actually got past Philemon, and they are catching up to the cars ahead. So they're making a little quiet comeback here right now. Maybe a bit of a deadly weapon here, silent weapon. Philemon has made a couple mistakes, and they've got damage actually. So didn't see what happened there, not sure. I'll have to look at it later on. But unfortunately, that is Philemon into the pit lane, and Ferrari once again having to make early pit stops onto the hard tyre. They're going to have to take them a long way or hope for a safety car. So that is not ideal at all. Ruleton loses 1/10 over a lap to Sven. Not much at all, but it does show that Sven does have decent pace in that car. Zingy, of course, holding on, and Nifo is able to hold on as well. Maybe the medium tyre has dropped off sooner than we thought. I'm not quite sure. 2.3 seconds is the gap now. Could this get to 2.2 by the time we get to the end of the lap? Immediately brings it back to 2.4. There's Ruleton on the traction. Looks like he's pretty confident on the traction, just not quite so much on the brakes, and that's a yellow as we see the Williams of PJ making a mistake. Down the order he goes. Going to lose that battle that they had earlier on. We've got JJ and Cisco pretty close together, followed by, of course, Eager Pro and Darksalt. They're fighting earlier on. Bit of a gap between the two right now, but it's still a battle that could be there. DRS for Sebi as he's holding on with David. David trying to make his way back through the order. 2.5 seconds is the gap that splits him and Quibus. Quibus kind of was catching. A little bit of a loss of time at the moment. He needs these guys to fight a little bit harder, slow each other down a little bit. What tyre is he actually on? He is on the medium tyre, so he's not going to get any quicker. That is an interesting situation. Same for Davin, same for Sebi. So they're going to be stuck just a little bit. We're going to go and watch aboard with Nifo, as unfortunately PJ making another mistake. They keep it out of the wall retirement-wise. That is a pit stop for Cisco. An early pit stop. Comes out just behind Philemon, actually. Just behind Philemon. So Philemon lost a lot of time. Of course, he had to warm up his tyres, though. PJ making another mistake. Resets the track. So that's going to be an instant time penalty for PJ there. And no safety car for now. No safety car for now. Zingy having a little look. So the turn tables, off his quote, as he's now going to possibly be an attacking performance, if you like. Performance. Let's say attacking performance because of the tyres. Now Sven could be under a bit of pressure. They've caught up nicely to Ruleton, slowly but surely. But Zingy's not going to want to wait around. He knows he now has the faster tyre. He's got to make use of it. If he does do that, however, he might drag Sven with him. I don't think it's worth it. He needs to catch Ruleton as soon as possible. Maybe get to Ruleton's DRS before Ruleton pits, but I think Ruleton's a little bit wiser than that. He wouldn't let Zingy get that close to allow him to get the DRS. But we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Zingy looked quick. They had a bit of a run. They might have a go here. They might have a go here. Then, going to have a bit of pressure. He saw Zingy have a quick look last time around. This is going to be the first time he's had pressure in a while. Zingy's catching rapidly, but the straight's not long enough. And the grip isn't enough of an advantage to actually get anywhere near. However, we did see that lockup from Sven, so that could be a benefit to Zingy. Bit of a wriggle off the exit of the corner. But he still managed to make it work. Trying his best to catch up to Ruleton. Gained a bit of time, lost a bit of time. Ruleton's losing a little bit, but maintaining it quite nicely, and they're not going to be able to catch them before the stint, so they'll probably be able to get onto some fresh tyres. That is if Zingy doesn't get past and then all of a sudden unleash some absolutely mega pace. We'll have to wait and see. Eager Pro makes a mistake in the second sector, and I don't know, have they got damage on their car? They keep it together, they don't have any damage, so they're good to go for now. They're going to have to try and make a bit more time. Of course, they were fighting with Dark Soul earlier, but now Dark Soul's pretty close, especially after a spin like that. It's going to be quite difficult to be back in that fighting position. Zingy, though, is the one that we want to look at, as he was very, very close. 2/10 this time around. Might even have a look up the hill. Maybe not. Not close enough. Not got enough energy to deploy that. You're going to have to use a lot of your battery. That's one thing around this circuit. It's very, very, very easy to use a lot of battery and extremely difficult to save anything. Actually, you don't even really need to use anything, and I don't think you even gain any ERS. So you have to be in a DRS train really to actually gain ERS, I'd say, probably. I'm not sure. I'll have to see. Sven maintaining the gap now, so not able to bring it any closer. Ruleton could be managing these tyres quite nicely. Maybe Sven's got a slightly more aggressive setup. He was rapid to begin with, but he was behind Nifo. He couldn't get past Nifo. Once they did, Zingy just let Sven go so they could get into this DRS train. Now Sven might be under pressure here. He's going to go for it for the first time. Going very, very, very tight to the inside line. Can he get him on the exit, though? Yes, he does. Sven knows he should not fight that. He should not fight that. He's got Nifo right there, who also wants a bit of it. And if he can get that DRS, then he's going to be able to prevent Nifo from going for a move. But a bit of a mistake on the exit. Could Nifo go for a bit of a heroic move? No, going to have to hold on for now. He's super, super close, and now he sees Zingy. It's pulling away all of a sudden. This could be horrible, horrible news for Nifo if he can't get past that Alpine. They're both going to be within DRS, so it's going to be extremely difficult for them to actually catch. And that's Eager Pro retiring from the session. And that is that a yellow? Is that a safety car? It is. It's a full safety car. As soon as Zingy gets that move, there's a safety car deployed. That is heartbreaking for Sven. That is not what he wants to see. Did Nifo just make a mistake there, or are they catching their Delta? I don't quite know. The Delta's pretty broken in this game, and that's going to be a perfect pit stop window, I think, for Ruleton. If it's not, then he has to make it anyway. And that's David out. David out as well, on the exit of the back corner, turn 3, 4. Ah, that's an interesting one. Oh, that's them out, and 2 cars. The price of 1, of course. Cohen got disqualified for being an AI, but that is not what we want to see. They've been had pace, and of course a safety car would have been nice to get them back into the battle on fresh tyres as well, but hards didn't work. Now, Ruleton is on fresh tyres. Zingy had to pit as well, I believe. Matt Riley also retires from the session. A lot of cars out on that safety car. A lot of cars out. 3 in one go. All of a sudden, gone. Zingy, did they make a pit stop? Let's have a look at the data, I think. Position changes, of course, as you can see. 2 positions gained. Safety car in this lap. What? Okay, we don't have much time to look at this. Zingy onto the medium tyre. Going to try and make it to the end maybe, or go for softs later on. I'm not quite sure. But what on earth? What on earth is happening? Why is the safety car going in this lap? No one's caught up. Only the lucky few here is going to catch up. Quibus might be able to catch up, but everybody else is going to be gone. Quibus will catch up to the grid. And it's just now going to be a top 5 battle. Sebi, way too far back to get close enough. Thank you, lovely Cody's. That was an interesting one, and we go for the restart. Ruleton gets away nicely. Going to be able to defend from Zingy at least into turn 1. These guys' tires are going to be cold. Sven goes defensive pretty hard to the inside line. He's had to go for that hard tire. He knows Nifo is on that medium tire. Nifo and Zingy need to make light work of these guys if they want to make their tires work. And look at this. It could be possible. Is Zingy going to try and push for the move? No. Ruleton pushes on the ERS. They use that to defend, and Zingy immediately recognises it, backs up, and he's made a mistake. Could Zingy go for a move? No. Not worth the risk at this stage of the race. Might have a send on the inside. Scares him a little bit. He leaves the tiniest amount of room, and it slows him down. It scares him as well. It could cause him to get a bad exit here. Zingy doesn't have the RS yet, so they're going to have to wait for another opportunity. But they're definitely putting that pressure on, and Ruleton, for the first time in this race, is having to think a little bit harder. Philemon retires from the session. In the pit lane he goes. That's Philemon out, and that's going to be another safety car. Another safety car. Just for a retirement, and that is the Ferrari in the middle of the circuit. We're not going to be able to see it's despawned, unfortunately, but a safety car, a full safety car. This will allow everybody to catch back up, and it will allow everybody to make another pit stop. Zingy here could go back onto a set of hards to make it to the end of the race, or he can use this to save the tyres a bit. He's going to be good to go. Dark Salt pits for some fresh hards. He's going to be going to the end of the race. No problem at all. What on earth? That was very, very interesting. Both Ferraris, both Red Bulls out of this race. No points for those teams. And actually 10 drivers remaining from this race. Meaning everybody is going to at least score 1 point. No matter what. Fastest lap will also be up for grabs. Anybody can just make a pit stop. That was absolutely mental. Philemon seems to have some glitches that cause them to lose a lot. Is the safety car going to come in? No, this time it will seem to stay out. It doesn't matter anyway. If it did go in the next lap, PJ will have caught up. So it looks like we're going to be doing another restart, and that's great news to Ruleton, because that does mean that now Zingy's going to spend a couple laps under the safety car that he could have spent escaping, and now he can't, of course. Now there's less laps to spend getting a gap to the car that's going to be on the faster tyre towards the end of the race. Then you can still see some sort of a benefit by saving the tyres. Burning a bit of fuel as well, making that car lighter. But it's not what he wanted at all. It's not what he wanted. It's allowing Ruleton and Sven to relax. It's allowing them to get into a rhythm. Koibus also going to be a threat here. Sebi's now back into the fight. JJ, Cisco, Dux are all here. Of course, PJ having that time penalty. But it's all going to be mixed up. Zingy, Nifo, both going for the ult strategy. And at this stage of the race, I can't quite say who's going to be in a good position. We couldn't see both Ruleton and Zingy go on the same tyre, and Sven as well, all on the same tyre with Nifo as well, to see what their pace was relative to one another. Of course, that's what qualifying is for, but Zingy should be fastest over Ruleton here, and Nifo should be able to get through. Nifo needs to get a jump here. They need to get a good jump and get ahead of Sven, because they don't want to wait. They need to get to Zingy, and Zingy's disconnected from the session. Zingy's disconnected from the session, and the safety car all of a sudden is going in, and the safety car is going to screw Zingy over. Zingy disconnects from the session. Sven's now going to be reacting, and Ruleton is going to have a buffer. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Zingy disconnects from the session. When will Ruleton go? Once again at Zandvoort, Zingy has the worst luck. Ruleton's gone for it, and the AI reacts, but they're going to go to the pit lane, and Sven leaves the session as well. Okay. This is either a bug or a coincidence that those two have just disconnected from the session. That is them out, and that's Nifo up to P2 on that medium tire. He's going to be able to now challenge Ruleton for a move. They didn't really get challenged by the cars in between, of course. They were just ghost cars. What on earth just happened? What on earth just happened? I don't know if this is a new update kind of bug with the crossplay stuff, or if this is a coincidence that these guys have just disconnected close to another. It might be that these guys are still racing on a different lobby. Right now, unfortunately, it's only 2 drivers, so we can't do anything about it. We're going to have to investigate this after the race. Nifo, all eyes on them, as they're going to have a look here to attempt to make a move on the McLaren. DRS isn't available. They're going to have to wait a little bit. That would be the easier option. Thingy rejoins the session. His AI putting himself on to 13 lap old hard tyres that he started the race on, and he's 16 seconds behind everyone. 16 seconds, and is now looking for 1 point. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Sven's going to try and look to reconnect, I will assume. Hopefully they can. I just want to double check something here and try and sort something out, but that is not what we want to see. That is not what we want to see at all. Hopefully they can get back into this lobby, but right now I think that's going to be a waiting game as PJ makes the move on the AI. Nifo did make that move onto Ruleton on the back straight there. They had their tyres. I think Ruleton might have made a mistake, possibly. I don't quite know. He's going to get that DRS and he's going to have to use that nicely. Doesn't get DRS just yet, but it will be available shortly. Sorry for the contact with the microphone there. Phoebus in for a good position here, looking for a 3rd place. Can he make it any higher? He's on the same tyre as Ruleton. He's holding with the pack at the moment. Sven joins the session, but not going to be happy with the game situation for it's in a very, very interesting situation at the moment. Now, both at the back of the grid. For some reason, Sven's car didn't pit because, of course, he is on pretty new tyres. I have no idea why Zingy's car pitted. There's no explanation for it whatsoever. He was on pretty fresh tyres. Now, Ruleton is going to get another dose of DRS here from Nifo, but that is probably going to be it. The Nifo's going to check out, and he might have a look for a possible win with, of course, Zingy, the fellow same strategy runner at the time before the disconnect, has now gone, and Sven is also not in this race. So there's only 2 people at this stage of the race to battle, and if he can escape that DRS, then he just needs to keep consistent and try and minimize or extend the tyre to ensure that the cliff doesn't come too early, allowing the hards to catch back up. We'll have to see who is the best at managing their tyres. Nifo doing an absolutely mega job here, looking for their first win. They were very, very quick in quali. It just quickly got taken away from them, and now they're back into the top spot, looking for a purple lap here, looking for the fastest lap. My thinking is it's probably going to get taken away by the guys behind they're probably going to pit later on if they're not close enough to make significant positions. But right now, Nifo will come round the final corner, set a fastest lap, I'd assume. No, it's not. It's not an improvement. Let's have a look who does have the fastest lap. Right now, it is Nifo, and it's very, very close to his PB, but it's not enough right now. It's 0.3 faster than Ruleton's lap time. Very, very close to Quibus as well. That's Sven once again leaving the session. But that is a very interesting situation to be in. I do apologise for the issues. I don't know what's going on. Dark Salt leaves the session as well. This is absolutely phenomenal. Incredible stuff. Don't quite know what's going on. That is me accidentally tapping my... microphone. Sorry for all the issues. I just have to double check them as a moment of silence and then we get back to it. Nifo is in the lead, 1.4 seconds right now, lap 23 out of 36. Ruleton is in a good position as of now. He needs to make sure that Nifo doesn't get too far away too quickly. Sorry for the issues. And lovely. If you look at my screen a minute. How about that? How about that? Indeed. Okay. I mean, the stream's still on. But it's not a network connection at all. Now, looking at the situation, I'm going to try and reconnect. We'll try our best. We'll try and get back into the lobby. I'm going to have to look at a possible restart in a minute if we're not careful. I'm going to try and join back. Nope, I can't join back to the lobby. So, I'm going to have a quick look at a couple things. I do apologise. Sorry for the wait. It won't be long. Just need to get something up a minute. Double check the situation. And then we will be able to continue whatever that continuation may be. Looking at the rule book. Let's see how many laps were completed. It was lap 26, but we still had a couple more issues before that, unfortunately. Looking at this, we've got lap 9, 15, 29. Alrighty, so looking at after this. Sorry for the delay. Anything before that should be good. Okay. So, lovely stuff. It looks like we'll be going for a 25% distance restart. As of now, I will update you in a minute. We'll be back in 5. Alright, sorry for the delay, thank you for your patience. We're looking at a possible restart to the race with a shorter distance. We will update you in a couple minutes. Alrighty, thank you very much for waiting, everybody. Unfortunately, it's not going to be possible to restart the race. It's going to be a red flag, and that is going to be cancelled. We'll do an investigation to see if we can award half points or not. I don't quite know yet. I need to have a little bit of a look. I'll see if we have any post-race interviews just in case, and I will update you in about a minute's time. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the LSI F1 Championship post-race interviews for the Netherlands Grand Prix. We didn't actually make it to the end, unfortunately. Nothing we can do about that. But we're still going to get a couple words from everybody on track. We start with Cisco, as always. Cisco, good to be back to racing. Not in the way we wanted it, but can you take anything positive from what we just had?
It's kind of difficult to take anything positive because my race was kind of like a roller coaster. Yeah, I did a big mistake in quali and just couldn't get the like proper lap in after that, so it was like, you know, and the race was, I made a mistake in lap 1 and crashed into some Ferrari, and then had a small damage that cost me like a second lap, so it was quite bad for the strategy and everything. But I did manage to get to some good positions after that. I think I was running like P5 and I had some nice battles, and then the glitch occurred and it just disconnected me.
Yeah. Well, that's brilliant. Not really too surprised afterwards. It's just a shame for everybody that competed. But yeah, the next one, if it does happen, Italy, Monza, you've had some pretty good performances there. I remember a while ago I think you qualified second. You had some good battles. Closely followed by a win at Belgium, I think it was. Do you like that circuit more? Do you think you can do a bit better there?
I like the circuit. It's a lot of fun, but it's also quite dangerous when a lot of people are playing. There's always a crash at turn one or at every second chicane that's there. So there's a big possibility of a crash, which is a shame. But yeah, I will try to do my best to not crash.
Yeah, fair enough. We'll call it the airport chicane. All right, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. It's a shame how it ended. One last question: how would you describe your race in 3 words?
I don't know.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thank you. Yeah.
JJ, we move on to you. It didn't go quite to plan either for you. You had some issues. Can you take us through that one?
Well, obviously the main one was quali band tyres. I kind of forgot on my first outing, so I went out there with like 12 kilos of fuel and didn't push hard enough.
Okay.
And then I was already a bit low on the pace for the rest of that quali session. I happened to use shit tyres.
Yeah.
And then the race, well, I didn't really have a bad race, to be honest, until the disconnect. I was closer to the pack than I thought I'd be. I got held up a few times, which I didn't expect.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it was great to see you in, but yeah, I wish we could have seen it towards the end, because you were going up there, but I guess we'll never know. Monza, is that a better track for you? Do you like it?
Not driven it on this game, if I'm honest.
Fair enough. You're going to be in for a big surprise.
I just did a piss take on it just with a controller when the game first came out. But other than that, I've not actually done it.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the time, patience, effort. Sorry for all the issues. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I turned up.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. And we move on to Nifo. Nifo, what a performance. It was looking good in quali, not quite what you wanted, but later on you had some very, very nice battles in the DRS train, and then it all went downhill towards the end, as everybody's race did. But can you be happy with the race as it was?
I mean, I guess in quali I was really thrown off guard by Rouleton's lap. Like a 10-2 in quali looked very bad to me, but yeah. So at first I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll have to scrape in the midfield. But as the race progressed, I was like, oh, I can actually get on the podium. I don't think I could have caught Rouleton or Zingy. I think they were both a bit faster than me. But the person in front of me, Sven, who overtook me, he was on mediums, I was on hard. So I think I was on the better strategy, because I was keeping up with him on the hard. So I guess a podium was possible. Yeah, but for the end, I saw the Ziggy disconnect, that a lot of people disconnected. I was like, oh no, here we go. And then, yeah, it all went downhill. But I guess you can take some positive things out of it. I guess I showed some pace, so I'm quite happy.
Yeah, fair enough. No, it was really good to watch. You put on a great show as well. Monza, do you like that track? Do you prefer over your home Grand Prix?
I guess I don't really like the low downforce tracks. I must say I'm not the best at those tracks. But I don't know. I think I can. I think I can perform, I guess, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Pace was there.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Well done today. Great effort. We move on to PJ. PJ, there was a couple issues during the race. A couple struggles on the rear end, but
Yeah.
are you were you optimistic going into it?
Yeah, I mean, I was very optimistic and I felt quite comfortable, but on lap 8 I had a spin and therefore a couple of another spins because of high tire temperature.
Mhm.
But then I was far back, but luckily after the safety car on lap 17, the last one before the red flag, I was 10th, and then I was just driving through the field, and also at the start I was driving to the field, had some nice bells, also a overtake around the outside from Cisco in turn 1, which was really cool, so I was pretty happy.
Yeah, I
But
saw you were
luckily
leading
only
a big
one
train.
or a half point.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. It's a shame. You're looking for guaranteed points as long as you finish the race, so it's typical the way it ended, but yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, I agree. The next one, Italy, Monza. Do you like it?
I mean, in this game there was this weird setup with 0 front wing, 0 rear wing setup. And this setup you were extremely fast but had no grip in the corners, but I don't know, let's see.
I have a horrible feeling that some people might be using that, unfortunately, to their advantage. But it is what it is, as we said before. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Back to front. Oh, no.
Fair enough, fair enough. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today.
Thank you. Goodbye.
And we move on to Rouleton. Rouleton, it's typical. It's typical that it's happened today of all days, this race of all races. You're leading the way, and epic performance in quali despite a tyre ban. I don't really know what to say. Can you take us through it?
Yeah, so quali, it was just taking it easy. I didn't expect much of it. I thought I was gonna P5 or something, but then I really hooked up the lap on that low fuel with 0 tire wear, which I was really happy about. It was like only like a 10th of my time trial time, so it was good.
Yeah.
Then race, I also kept good. I was like 2.5 seconds ahead at all times until the
You nailed
first
the
safety
start.
car. Yeah, safety car, and then but I did put a bit of. I put like 0.6 laps of fuel, so I was gonna be fine. But I lost that quite quick, so I had to, from like lap 5, I had to lift and coast like to the safety car. But then it was really weird because safety car came in like 1 lap, and I was like, "What's going on?"
Yeah, that was
I don't know if that was
major bug we saw.
desync. Yeah, probably. Then there was another safety car, and then just nothing happened. I think that's kind of when everything went downhill.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All I can say is I'm heartbroken for you. It's not the way it should have gone, you know.
Yeah.
What could have been is what could have been. Maybe we'll just have to pretend.
There's not a lot we could do about it.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. I'm really sorry for that. Monza,
No worries.
are you looking forward to that? As we just heard from these guys, they are looking at probably low wing setups, which is maybe not a favourite to some people.
Yeah.
Do you
I've
like
already-
that kind of style?
I really like that. I'm usually running low wings, and I've already got a win under my belt in that track in the London League race. So I have a good setup and already know how to take on the track.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. Well, hopefully we can see you do another great performance there. One last question, how would you describe your race in 3 words?
Looking very promising.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.
Thank
Well done
you.
today, great effort. And we move on to Zingy. The race merchant, it was looking like a tasty one. I think we could have possibly seen a close battle, but unfortunately, it didn't go to plan. Once again, the Netherlands bites you right on the arse. I don't really know what to say. What can you take from that? You had some good battles. Were you expecting to be on the front row, or not?
I wasn't
not
on the
quite.
front row.
But were you expecting to?
No. You know, I mean, you said it. I'm a race merchant.
Yeah.
I'm not. I can get those good laps. I can set Roton's point too, but I just more like to focus on the race because that's when the points are earned. But no, yeah, I was really quick on those hard tires. I was only dropping a couple tenths a lap, and I was able to stick with the DRS for a few laps. And my plan was just to stay in there as long as possible, wait for the tires to die off, and go for the mediums and make some risky dive bombs. But well, calculated, shall we say?
Yeah.
Because that one on Sven was absolutely magnificent.
It was very, very, very good, I have to admit. Very late on the brakes, and I have to say, your pace on the hards was amazing.
Electric. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
I won't say the terminology that we usually talk about, me and you are, but I was loving it. I was so full of myself that race, I can't lie. But
Fair
it's a
enough.
shame. These things happen though. It's well, they shouldn't because it's an official F1 game, but like, you can't do much. So we'll just go into next week and hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, hopefully. I'll pray. Alright, next one, Monza. Do you like a low downforce setup as well?
I like going fast, if that answers your question.
Fair enough. DRS trains, you were stuck in one today. Let's change the question a bit. Do you like that?
Oh, they can do a Michael Massey.
Fair enough. Well, thank you very much for our last question. How do you describe your race in 3 words?
Congrats on the 100.
Yeah, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time at Well Done Today. Alrighty, that's been it for the Netherlands Grand Prix for the F1 Championship. We should, I think, be back tomorrow. I'll let everyone know as soon as possible. Thank you very much for your patience. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much for 100 subscribers. Thank you very much to all the drivers to understanding the decision. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.